So first of all, we're going to graph the function f of x equals 3x, which is an exponential. I know without even graphing it, because the base is 3, which is greater than 1, I know that it should increase from the left to the right. So from the left to the right, it should go up without even graphing it, just because this number is greater than 1. Okay, so now to graph, we're going to go ahead and plug in whatever numbers we want for x. So I'm going to go with -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. You can pick whatever numbers you want as long as they fit on this graph, and you'll get a shape that will look like this. And we know that because it's an exponential function. So now we're going to plug in these numbers for x. So 3 to the -2nd. We know anything to the negative power moves it to the denominator. And then we're going to divide this with our calculator, 1 divided by 9, which we will get a decimal of about 0.1. And then plug in a -1. 3 to the first is 3, moves it to the denominator. We're going to divide them, and we get about 0.3. Plug in a 0, 3 to the 0, anything to the 0 power is 1. And then 3 to the first power is 3. 3 to the second power is 9. And now we have points, and we're going to go ahead and graph them over here. And then when we've graphed the points, we know that it's going to keep going and going over here, but it's never going to cross this x-axis right here. And the reason why we know it's never going to cross the x-axis is because there is no exponent for x. There's no power for x that will ever equal 0. Like 3 to the first, that's 3. 3 to the 0 power, that's 1. There's no way to get 0. That's why we know it's never going to cross the x-axis. So now we need to find the domain. So the domain are all the x-axis, so we always go least to greatest, left to right. So if we look at the left of the graph right here, it's going infinitely on. And if we look at the right side of the graph, the arrow is going infinitely on this way. So it's going infinitely to the left and the right. If we look at the range, we always go from bottom to top, least to greatest. So if we look at the bottom here, the graph doesn't go down here. It stops right here. So that's 0. And we know it never crosses it, so we're going to use a parenthesis. And then if we look at the y-axis here, it keeps going and going up. So infinitely on.